Welcome back. Today we are diving into a fundamental algorithm used in competitive programming and cryptography called modular exponentiation. This technique allows us to calculate large powers of a number modulo m very efficiently. Let's start with the problem statement. We are given a base x, an exponent n, and a modulus m. We need to calculate x to the power of n for small numbers like 2 to the power of 10. The result is 1024, which is easy to handle. But what if n is huge, like 100 or even 10 to the power of 18? A simple loop would take way too long. The second issue with large exponents is size. 2 to the power of 100 is a massive number with over 30 digits. This exceeds the storage capacity of standard integer types, causing an overflow. That is why problems often ask for the answer modulo 10 to the power of 9 plus 7. This keeps the result within a manageable range, usually fitting in a 64-bit integer. The key to solving this is the modular multiplication property. It states that the modulo of a product is equal to the product of the modulos. This means we don't have to wait until the end to apply the modulo operator. We can apply it at every single multiplication step, ensuring our intermediate numbers never grow too large. Now for the speed. Instead of multiplying x by itself n times, we use a divide and conquer strategy. If n is even, we can calculate x to the power of n divided by 2 and then square that result. This cuts the work in half instantly. If n is odd, we pull out 1x, reducing the exponent by 1, which makes it even again. Let's visualize this with 2 to the power of 10. To get 2 to the power of 10, we need 2 to the power of 5 squared. To get 2 to the power of 5, we do 2 times 2 to the power of 4. We keep breaking it down until we reach 2 to the power of 0, which is our base case returning 1. We then bubble the answers back up. Here is the logic formalized. If n is 0, return 1. If n is even, recursively calculate the power for half of n, then square the result and apply modulo. If n is odd, multiply x by the recursive result of n minus 1. This ensures we cover all cases efficiently. Here is the C++ implementation. The function takes x, n, and m. We handle the base case where n is 0. Then we make the recursive call for n divided by 2. We square the returned value temp. Finally, if n was odd, we multiply by x one more time. Notice we apply the modulo operator at each multiplication. Why is this better? A naive loop runs in linear time, O of n for an input of 10 to the power of 18, that's billions of years. Modular exponentiation runs in logarithmic time, O of log n for that same input. It only takes about 60 steps. That is an incredible improvement in performance. There is also an iterative way to do this, known as binary exponentiation. It uses the binary representation of n, for example, 13 in binary is 1101. This corresponds to 8, 4, and 1. So 3 to the power of 13 is just 3 to the power of 8 times 3 to the power of 4 times 3 to the power of 1. Here is the code for the iterative version. We loop while n is greater than 0. If n is odd, meaning the current bit is 1, we multiply our result by the current x. Then, regardless of the bit, we square x and divide n by 2 to move to the next bit. This approach avoids recursion stack overhead. To summarize, modular exponentiation allows us to compute huge powers under a modulus efficiently. It reduces the time complexity from linear to logarithmic, making it feasible for inputs as large as 10 to the power of 18. It is a critical tool for efficient algorithms and secure systems.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.